About the findings, but more to talk about the methodologies that we used in the developmental side of the evaluation. So we'll focus on that. So what I think sometimes gets lost when you're in the midst of implementing it is how unusual this model is. There are lots of research chairs, and I'm sure Tandi will tell you about that. But this is the first one which really marries research and development. It says, not just do research on it, but go out there, get your hands dirty. And there was a very explicit requirement in the original contracts of the math chairs that said that a learner performance should improve by 10% in mathematics. But there was a very clear outcome that was desired by the trustees. So just a moment of light humor. But one of the issues that came up very strongly at the beginning of this whole process is the math chairs are all researchers. They're all incredibly accomplished researchers. They're world-renowned researchers, in fact. And understanding the difference between what evaluation and research is was tough. We had some tough moments trying to come to the understanding of what we wanted to do was establish what was working and what wasn't working on the ground and look at effectiveness and the sustainability and the OECD DAC evaluation requirements, which were part of our contract. But, and this is a constant tension. If you're a good researcher, it doesn't mean you're necessarily a good evaluator, and vice versa. So Mokabella's talked a little bit about the process and the fact that we did the rapid diagnostic of the school functionality, so looking at the context of the school. We've changed, that's some more evaluation jargon. Essentially it's saying what is the hypothesis that each of the chairs is using, and each of the 6 chairs has a different development hypothesis, and those development hypotheses have changed. So we had the negotiations, we had the school functionality, we had the theory of change work.
I'm going to talk to you about the NRF's approach. The NRF, firstly, I thought it would be very important to just look at the highlights of the science landscape, just brief things about the science landscape, and then you can connect the dots between the NRF and this initiative, and in fact, between the South African landscape, the NRF, the SACHI initiative. SACHI stands for South African Research Chairs Initiative, and also these research and development chairs. But as the NRF, our mandate, we're an entity that reports to government to the Department of Science and Technology, hence the mention of DST earlier. And our mandate is really on human resource development. We fund research, we support research, so we fund research and postgraduate studies from honors level upwards. So we started the South African Research Chairs Initiative a couple of years ago, and it's really modeled on the Canadian model of research chairs. So we have, right now we're standing at 154 awarded research chairs throughout the system. And out of that, we only have these 4. So we've instituted a monitoring and evaluation process to mitigate the risk of not attaining the program objectives. So we do annual progress reports. We request annual progress reports, which would be submitted to the NRF. But also there's a Deputy Vice Chancellor institutional level impact report. And then the Tier 1 are funded for a period of 15 years maximum, with 5-year reviews in between. And the Tier 2 are 10 years. But at the 5-year term review, there's an opportunity for a Tier 1 to be upgraded to a Tier 2, obviously based on progress and based on whatever has happened during the 5-year period. So there will be that 5-year review, and then we also do occasionally site visits to the research chairs at the host university. And those site visits would be informed by what we've gathered through the APRs or through communication between the institution, the chair, and ourselves, and mostly focused on Tier 2 chairs.